This is the North Tower of the World Trade Center, seen from the north side on September 11, 2001. Just as it starts to fall, there are massive ejections of material at about the 98th floor. Many of us believe these are blasts from explosions that destroyed the core columns, allowing the building to fall. However, those who advocate for the official government story claim we are merely seeing dust and smoke being pushed out the windows as a result of collapsing floors. It is hard to resolve this dispute directly because the core columns are not directly visible. Nearly hidden by all the spectacular ejections, one small focused jet has special significance. This little puff is not coming out a window at all, but out of the corner of the building. Each corner of the building has two 14-inch box columns, connected to each other by large, periodically spaced steel plates and covered on the exterior with aluminum cladding. There are no corner windows. The corner columns are structurally significant because they connect the adjacent wall assemblies and give the building three-dimensional stability. If anyone wanted to demolish the towers, the corner columns would be natural targets. Let's come back to our little jet. Notice that as the surrounding structure descends, this little jet, as it plays itself out, remains fixed relative to the original structure of the building. It does not move down with the falling walls and floors. This suggests that we could be seeing the work of a cutter charge strapped to a column. As the roofline moves down past the 98th floor, a surviving column is seen protruding upward from the debris cloud. It sways outward, but it does not fall for several seconds. Note that the top of this column exactly matches the height of the corner jet. Careful measurements confirm this impression. The evidence is mounting that we are seeing not only a cutter charge in action, but the very column that is cut. The column sways but does not fall for a matter of seconds. Then it abruptly enters freefall. Again, careful measurements confirm this impression. A graph of the vertical component of velocity as a function of time shows a sudden transition from full support to freefall and allows us to determine the precise time of this event. Since we know the time when the column enters freefall, we can ask, what's going on below that allows the column to suddenly drop? The problem is, whatever caused the column to drop is further down the building, outside the frame of this video clip. However, there's another video aimed lower on the northwest corner of the building that potentially holds the answer. Since we are looking for an event that happens at a specific time, we need to find some way to synchronize the two videos. Fortunately, there is an easily pinpointed event that is visible in both videos. When the column we've been watching starts to fall, it emerges from the shadows into bright sunlight, then falls back into the shadows again. The last glimmer of sunlight is visible as a bright bead on the end of the column. This momentary event can be identified in both video clips, allowing the frames to be synchronized. Looking at the lower tower, we can see a very interesting event that correlates with the exact moment the column goes into freefall. Another focused jet cutting through the corner of the building. In fact, if we watch a small interval centered on the critical moment, we can see several ejections clustered on the corner that explode within a fraction of a second of each other. The hypothesis that we are merely looking at ejections of dust and smoke that result from the collapse is no longer viable. There is, of course, dust and smoke that is pushed out of the way, but we are seeing here clear evidence of actual explosions cutting a steel column. This evidence corroborates many other independent observations that point to explosives, including the dynamics of the falling building, the molten iron in the rubble pile, and the evidence of dust laced with iron microspheres and chips of unexploded nanothermite all over Manhattan. Once we recognize that explosives were used, we can see the entire event through new eyes.